Go early. So let's send it back, shall we, to the Etihad. Currently Manchester City 0, Chelsea 0. The second half about to start.
Raheem Sterling among those on the bench for Chelsea, who are out ahead of the home side tonight. I'm sure that Lewis Hall will replay that moment over and over in his mind over the next few days, but he's got to put it out of his mind for the moment. No changes for Chelsea, incidentally, in terms of substitutions at the break. And no changes I'm hearing from Manchester City either, who are coming out a little later than their opponents. Just the one caution in the first half. Kalidou Koulibaly, the central defender for Chelsea, shown yellow. Grealish saw plenty of the ball for Manchester City in that first half. Can Manchester City, captained by Ilkay Gundogan, do it tonight, or will they have to bring on Erling Haaland again? That's the decision for Pep Guardiola. Chelsea get the second half started. No changes to either team in terms of substitutions. Chelsea kicking from left to right in this second half. Ortega just able to get it away from Broja. First touch from Mendy at the other end. Cucurella. Long, hopeful ball. Diaz able to clear. Nicely done from City. Rodri with the through ball, just a touch too long for Alvarez. Reminder, if it stays this way at the end of 90 minutes level, we will have a penalty shootout to determine who goes through to the fourth round of the Carabao Cup. The fourth round to be staged just a few days after the World Cup comes to a close in Qatar, just before Christmas. Mendy. Chalobah. Forward from Loftus-Cheek. Diaz. Rodri. Here's Gomez. Laporte. Touch almost worked out there for Palmer. Unable to keep it in play. Palmer will be receiving instructions from Pep Guardiola throughout this second half on this near touchline. Koulibaly, Cucurella. Hall, Cucurella. All charged down, Alvarez. Got Mahrez running ahead of him. It's Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez challenged from Cucurella. Took the ball, not the man. Needed to time that absolutely perfectly and did so. At the other end, Breuer up against Diaz. Kovacic losing possession, and Manchester City almost profited. Excellent challenge from the Chelsea defender. Rodri. Gundogan. Foul on Loftus-Cheek by Grealish. Double change then for Manchester City, and this will be a welcome sight for Calvin Phillips as he prepares to come on. Calvin Phillips and Bernardo Silva. Going to come on for Manchester City. Double change from the home side early in this second half. Okay, Gundogan is coming off. So the captain's armband will be placed around the arm of Ruben Diaz. And Rodri. So Bernardo Silva and Calvin Phillips are on. Phillips back in action after a shoulder operation in September. It's just his fourth appearance for Manchester City, all four of them from the bench since his move from Leeds United in the summer. Silva. Gomez. Grealish. Going to take on Chalobah. Grealish! Punched away by Ortega. Mahrez now for City. And this time, Hall is in the way. Good double chance this for the home side, who take the corner quickly. Grealish! And Mendy is there to rescue Chelsea once more. Smart work here from Manchester City. Mendy furious with his defenders. Got a touch off Chalobah on the way, which almost took it away from the goalkeeper. Mahrez. Good spell at this for Manchester City. Lewis. Oh, that's a foul, isn't it? Yes, it is. Chalobah. And will surely see yellow. Indeed he does. So that's two of Chelsea's defenders booked now. Chalobah sending Mahrez tumbling through the air. Joining Koulibaly in the book. Both Koulibaly and Chalobah booked for fouls in very similar positions. City couldn't make anything of the free kick, even when Koulibaly was booked in the first half. What can they do from this? Grealish and Mahrez standing behind it. Riyad Mahrez, it's 1-0 Manchester City. Perfectly placed free kick past Edouard Mendy. Mahrez gets his 4th goal of the season and his 4th goal in his last 7 appearances in all competitions. Over the top of the wall. And it flies past Mendy. The opening goal goes to Riyad Mahrez. Manchester City 1, Chelsea 0. Three times the Carabao Cup winner with Manchester City, Riyad Mahrez. What have Chelsea got in response? Grealish. Phillips. Given away, picked up by Hall, who anticipated the pass. Diaz making sure that Hall could progress no further. Phillips. Lewis. Ortega. Sweeps it out. Grealish. Like a shove in the back there from Zakaria. Play continues. Chalobah. Trevor Chalobah. Ziyech. Curling it in. Might have just been going wide. Ortega making sure. Would look as though they started as a cross and turned into a goal-bound effort. As Broyat tried to get on the end of it. Chelsea corner then. Ziyech! Well, it came to him off Zakaria, who didn't know too much about it. Look at Ziyech there on the left side of your picture. Wild effort. Ortega always knew it was going wide. Took it out. Mendy under pressure quickly there from Alvarez. Took it out. Terrific crossfield ball to find Loftus-Cheek. Gomez trying to get back goal side. Loftus-Cheek. Support from Ziyech. Loftus-Cheek. Palmer wins it and was then fouled by Pulisic and takes the free kick quickly. Grealish. Alvarez. Crossfield ball looking for Mahrez. Mahrez faced by Cucurella. Mahrez pushed away, turned in by Alvarez. 2 goals in quick succession for Manchester City.
Lighting up the Etihad Stadium with a goal in the City, number 19,
Alvarez getting his 7th goal of the season. Three in the Premier League, 3 in the Champions League, and now 1 in the Carabao Cup. Manchester City building from deep. Terrific crossfield ball from Alvarez to set up the shot from Mahrez. Mendy able to parry it. but it's straight into the path of the on-rushing Alvarez. Perfect second half for Manchester City so far. They've scored twice, and they lead Chelsea by 2-0. Away by Chalobah. Paul, plenty of room for him. Closed down quickly though by Mahrez. Cucurella. Loftus-Cheek can't keep that in. Well, is he going to come on in an effort to try and get Chelsea back into this match? Thirteen times these two clubs between them have won this competition. At the moment it's Manchester City who are going to make progress. Gomez. Palmer almost squeezing it in past Mendy. Grealish. Phillips. Silva. Bernardo Silva. Gomez. Phillips. Lewis. Phillips. Away by Loftus-Cheek. Grealish. Manchester City with 7 shots in this match, 5 of them on target. Chelsea with 2 shots only. They haven't got one on target as yet. It's offside. Former teammates, now opposing substitutes. Loftus-Cheek. And again. Paul. Cucurella. Turned back by Zakaria. Cucurella. Broya. Loftus-Cheek. Ziyech. Oh, he's found a way through here. Here comes Ziyech. Chance for Chelsea. And again, Lewis Hall is foiled by Stefan Ortega. He must be getting the feeling it is not going to be his night. Terrific turn from Ziyech. Hall arriving, but Ortega recovering superbly to push it away and preserve Manchester City's clean sheet. Plenty of activity down in the Chelsea technical area. Changes are forthcoming. Well, that's twice now that Stefan Ortega has prevented Lewis Hall from scoring for Chelsea on only his second appearance for the London side. Super stop. Ortega is there again. Mahrez. Phillips. Silva. Ortega with the ball out. Diaz. Lewis. Phillips. Looks like it could well be a quadruple substitution for Chelsea. And there's lining up to come on, Raheem Sterling. "20 minutes gone then in the second half. Manchester City leading by 2-0. Lewis, Mahrez. Silva. Riyad Mahrez. Silva. Palmer. Can't find a way past Zakaria. No way through there for Pulisic, surrounded by a quartet in Manchester City blue. Grealish. Jack Grealish. It's a terrific run. Grealish. Koulibaly sliding in to make the block. What a goal that would have been. Silva. Eased out of the way by Ziyech. And here's Chalobah. Diaz. Mahrez. Calvin Phillips. Gomez. And now perhaps we're going to have this quadruple change from Chelsea. As we see again, the run from Jack Grealish.
And welcome back to the National Stadium, the 17th Raheem Sterling.
Terrific reception for Raheem Sterling as he makes his return to Manchester City. Four changes, Raheem Sterling, Mason Mount, Conor Gallagher and Cesar Azpilicueta all coming on. Off Chalobah, Zakaria, Broja and Ziyech.
And finally, the 14, Conor Gallagher will be replaced with the 28, Cesar Azpilicueta.
So a quadruple change then from Graham Potter in an effort to try and turn this match around in Chelsea's favour. It's going to be an uphill struggle though. Mahrez. Just away by Diaz. Lewis. Cross came Cucurella. Now, that was quite a strong challenge, wasn't it? Laporte. No free kick. Grealish now. Space on this near side which Gomez is trying to fill. No way past Azpilicueta though. Mason Mount, another who will be hoping to be named in the England squad for the World Cup. Gallagher. Pulisic. Cucurella. Koulibaly. Cucurella's ball forward, looking for Sterling. Mendy. Kovacic was in a bit of trouble there. Loftus-Cheek. It's a foul on Sterling. By Diaz. The League Cup 5 times with Manchester City. Sterling. 4 Premier League titles, 1 FA Cup. Not a bad haul at all. Koulibaly. Correa. Mount. Switches it across to this near side and Ruben Loftus-Cheek looking for support. Took a deflection on the way through and only just wide. What a chance that was. But the flag was up and it wouldn't have counted had it been turned in. And there you can see the reason why. Pulisic in an offside position. Terrific night, hasn't he? Stefan Ortega. I don't know, he'll be back on the bench come the weekend. Mendy just able to get the clearance in. Grealish with the touch, which almost prevented it from finding its target. Kai Havertz is about to come on. The man who scored the winning goal in the Champions League final win for Chelsea over Manchester City back in May of last year. Ortega. There's a stretch there for Phillips. Kovacic got there first. Gallagher. Sterling. Crossed by Hall. And taken under his bar by Ortega. Somehow, I don't think we're going to see him tonight. Been out with an injury, of course. Returned as a substitute to score the late winning penalty against Fulham in the Premier League at the weekend. And if he's not needed tonight, then why put your 23-goal striker on? Give him a few more days. Here's the change then. Lewis Hall. Those two terrific chances for Chelsea. 29, Kai Havertz comes on in his place. Well, he'll remember tonight. Only his second appearance for Chelsea, but we won't be happy memories. Loftus-Cheek. Field from Gomez. Mendy. Well, the crowd tonight have been treated to a very decent game of football. The vast majority, of course, look like they're going to be heading home happy with a Manchester City win, unless Chelsea can turn it around in the time that remains. And what we've seen so far, you'd have to say that would seem unlikely, but with all the changes they've made, who knows? Loftus-Cheek. Away by Silva. That's offside. Against Alvarez. Loftus-Cheek. Mount turned away from Silva. Kovacic, Kukadea. Havertz, it's Kai Havertz. Well, it probably started as a shot, but turned into more of a misplaced pass. Sterling unable to get on the end of it. 4 goals so far this season for Kai Havertz. Chelsea need 2 in the 12 minutes, plus additional time that we have remaining. making the run. Ortega was there though. Falls to Mahrez. Koulibaly is there. And just able to take it away from Palmer. Havertz. Gallagher. Loftus-Cheek. Gallagher. Koulibaly. Havertz with a little touch. That was the target for the pass, couldn't be found though. All over the top, Alvarez trying to get in behind Koulibaly. Manchester City are preparing to make their first change of the night. Nathan Ake is ready to come on. Gallagher. And it's a straight swap at the back. Aymeric Laporte is the player coming off. And Nathan Ake comes on to face the club where he started his career before making the move to Bournemouth. So Ake on for the last 10 minutes or so. Koulibaly. Azpilicueta. Diaz. Palmer trying to turn away from Pulisic. Ake. Grealish. Chase on here for Sergio Gomez. Loftus-Cheek matching him stride for stride. Ake. Silva. Koulibaly. High from Mendy. Hit by Ake. Gallagher, Kovacic. Havertz. Pulisic on that far side. Here he is. Havertz making the run, hoping for the return ball and getting it as well. Can't find Sterling in the middle though. Sterling, the only player in the penalty area available to receive a cross. Well, Graham Potter appointed by Todd Bowley, who we saw there checking his phone. Recently installed Chelsea owner. Phillips with the challenge on Gallagher, which has left the Chelsea substitutes with a bit of a problem. Azpilicueta. Sterling turned into trouble in the shape of Phillips. Azpilicueta turns it across. Pulisic arriving at the far post, unable to apply a decisive touch. Just too high for the header from Havertz, and just eluding Pulisic. Doesn't seem as though it is going to be Chelsea's night. The beaten finalists in the Carabao Cup last season, losing on penalties to Liverpool in the final at Wembley. Unless there's a remarkable turnaround in the last few minutes, it does appear that Manchester City are going to be progressing through to the next round. Pep Guardiola will be delighted with the performances tonight of young Rico Lewis and Cole Palmer. I don't think it looked out of place at all for Manchester City. Forward by Azpilicueta. Sterling. It's away by Diaz. Gallagher. Pulisic with a header. Kept that ball in play. Mahrez. Cucurella. Robbing Lewis. Havertz. Oh, it was in behind Pulisic. Cucurella, straight to Grealish. Chelsea throw. Gallagher. Azpilicueta. Mason Mount. Azpilicueta. Behind for the corner. Ake with the header. Goal now for Chelsea really would make it interesting. The last few minutes of this third round tie. Away by Ake again. Gallagher with the missed kick. Mount. Ball's going wide. Grealish. Slightly risky that for Ake. Oh, a little bit of a confrontation here between Jack Grealish and Cesar Azpilicueta. And the referee will want words with both. Simon Hooper calling both players to him. And it's a yellow card for both of them. This was the incident. Grealish felt that the challenge was too strong. And a little shove there, which Azpilicueta reacts to. Kai Havertz now for Chelsea, as we're about to go into the 90th minute. Oh, almost an own goal. Sterling, blocked by Ortega, and it is an own goal. Comes off Ake in the end. And Chelsea have a goal back, except they do not. Offside. And Graham Potter's team are not thrown a late lifeline. Havertz with the run forward. Wasn't gathered cleanly by Ortega. And then coming back from off the pitch was the reason the flag was raised. No real objections from Chelsea. As we go into additional time, and there is a minimum of 4 minutes of that to be played. 4 minutes for Manchester City to just see out this game. Away by Ortega. It's looking like a clean sheet for the German goalkeeper. Phillips, Grealish, trying to step away from Loftus-Cheek. Mahrez, scorer of the opening goal. Palmer, Grealish. Gallagher is there. Loftus-Cheek. Forward by Gallagher. Mount. Well, that might fall kindly here for Azpilicueta. The little ball back was intended for Sterling, but was behind him. And Palmer swept up.
Tonight's EA Sports man of the match is number 18,
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Manchester City, as you heard there from the incredibly loud public address system, man of the match, Stefan Ortega, the goalkeeper. 2 outstanding saves to deny Lewis Hall on both occasions, and they were vital saves as far as City are concerned. First one in particular near the end of the first half to keep it at 0-0. Well, this is a competition that Pep Guardiola likes to win. 4 times he's won it as the City manager. Nobody will bet against Manchester City winning it again this season. That's a foul. Azpilicueta gets it back from Mount. Except that Gomez was in the way, and he's in the right place again. Ortega with the clearance. Phillips. Silva. Into the last of the 4 additional minutes at the end of the 90. Manchester City have won this competition 6 times in the last 8 years. And going through to the 4th round. 4th round where they lost last season on penalties to West Ham. Last few seconds. Koulibaly. Two second-half goals have won it for Manchester City and seen them safely through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. Riyad Mahrez with the first from a free kick. Julian Alvarez getting the second for the home side just a few minutes later. And Pep Guardiola's team go marching on into the 4th round of the League Cup. A comprehensive victory for them. Chelsea had 2 excellent chances, but Lewis Hall saw them both saved by that man there, Stefan Ortega. It's a clean sheet for Manchester City. It's progress through to the next round for Manchester City. It has finished in victory for Manchester City. Manchester City 2.